Boxing King Media, powered by BYD, Mr. Chris Eubank Jr. It feels like it's been way too long. We're literally about a month away, or a couple of months away from you fighting again. It's been a year, Chris. So just tell your fans why on earth have you disappeared after getting such a good win? You got your revenge and you just vanished for 12 months.
Um, there's a lot
Straight.
of business and politics. There's a lot of business and politics that goes on behind the scenes in the boxing world, and yeah, I was caught up in some of that. Um, I was in a contract that was, I couldn't move, I couldn't fight, so I had to get out of that contract before I could kind of resume things, and now I'm out. So now we're gonna get back in the ring.
And have you still been training? What kind of stuff you've been doing? I know you've seen a lot of you in Vegas. I know you've been doing up your property over there as well. What kind of stuff you've been doing?
Yeah, I've been, a bit obviously training is, that's an everyday thing for me. But outside of that, yeah, traveling, property, business, um, living life, playing poker, having fun, enjoying the fruits of my labor, spending time with the family, just, keeping active, that's an important thing, especially when you know you can't fight. It's like, all right, gotta, you've got to have other outlets, otherwise you end up going crazy.
That's very true. You mentioned poker there. I think I saw you with Ryan Garcia recently. It seemed like a wacky episode that I was watching Ryan do some mad shit. How did you find that experience sat opposite him?
Yeah, that's I play in private high stakes cash games, and yeah, that was like a mild that was like a mild poker game to how we play when the cameras are off. LA and Las Vegas. Um, that's definitely a passion of mine. Just you know, having a little bit of poker and a little bit of gambling with friends. It's great.
Just curious, your friend Dan Bilzerian, what's he like as a person? He's a big personality online, but what's he like, behind, away from the cameras and social media, just when you guys are together?
He's actually a very cool dude. Probably people kind of like me. Like if you don't know me, you probably think, oh, he's like this and he's like that. But he's actually a very laid back, cool person. Um, yeah, we spend a lot of time in Las Vegas. Um, yeah, that was a connection that I made through poker. Um, so yeah, poker for me is not just about uh, the gambling side of things. It's about the connections you make, the people that you meet that you would never have met and spent time with if it wasn't for that. It's a great way to connect with people.
Dan seems like a great guy to network with. What's the biggest thing you kind of picked up from him, like maybe business wise or networking wise?
Um, we're friends. We don't really talk about business and networking. We have similar interests. We get along. We hang out. We have fun. Um, yeah, it's not a business thing with me and him.
I got you. You just said it yourself there. People have got this assumption about you being like, you don't always seem like really approachable, but when I see you with your nephew Raheem, you're like a completely different person. It's like it's a different Chris Eubank Jr. It's like he's the only person I've seen around you and kind of just breaks your character, or I don't know. But do you see what I'm saying? Does he melt your heart?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, listen, you can't be cool around your 3-year-old nephew. You gotta be you gotta be that father figure around him. Um, and yeah, I've never really been exposed to that side of life before this, so that's why people have never seen it because I've never really been around kids like that. Um, but opens your eyes. That type of love. You don't think that's you don't really know it's there until it's there and you're experiencing it. It makes you it makes you think about, starting your own family, I mean, obviously he is my family, but having my own biological son, that those thoughts are a lot more prevalent now than they were before he was around.
Good stuff, man. You obviously had a long time out, and people always quick to talk negatives, but I know every promoter that could sign you was after you, whilst you've been a free agent. So what made you pick Ben Shalom, and why didn't say Matchroom or Frank Warren make the cut?
Um, you know, Ben, Shalom, Boxer, they they match my energy in terms of where I want to go, what I want to do, and how I want to do it. We have the same views on all of things, the same goals that we're trying to reach, and I trust him more than I trust everybody else, to be honest.
Big statement that. Eddie Hearn said something about you guys didn't agree because you wanted more, in his words, like gimme fights. Anything to expand on that from your side? Because you've got a right to reply to that.
Um, no, there's no reply. Eddie talks a lot of shit, so I'll just let him keep talking.
Good stuff. And your opponent, Chris, are you taking this as like a fight just to get back into the swing of things before you take a big fight?
I've been out of the ring for a year. Um, you don't go a year without fighting and then go into a mega fight. Not if you're looking to actually win and perform and do what you're supposed to do, which is why I didn't take the Canelo fight when it was offered to me. Um, you know, this is a solid opponent, Camille, on the 12th of October to get back into the ring to after a year off, get the ring rust off, perform, and then set up for these mega fights over the next 12 months.
Realistically, I know I don't want to look too far ahead for you, but I know you mentioned Billy Joe before, but obviously we don't know how far he is off coming back into the ring, or whether if he is or not. Realistically, who do you think is out there for you, like say Christmas time?
Um, there's a lot of names. There's a lot of names. My hit list, I've said it. We want the Conor Ben fight, we want the Canelo fight, we want the Saunders fight, we want the the Lara fight. We want to fight for that middleweight world title. I think he's fighting Garcia next, so we want the winner of that. You know, it's not about realistically; it's about who can we get, um, and you don't know until you know. After this fight, all those names you know, will be contacted, and we'll make whichever fights we can make.
From your understanding, what is the latest with Conor Ben that you know of?
Um, I don't know anything officially. I mean, he's saying he can fight soon. And the team is saying, he's going to be available. So we'll see.
How do you evaluate your career so far, Chris, with what you've achieved? People always talk about, oh, he's not won a WBA or a WBC, but I'm trying to look at the positives here. You've fought on pretty much every TV network. You've worked with all the promoters. You fought pay-per-view, and your name outside Fury and AJ is the one that gets mentioned when it comes to a third potential pay-per-view star. Some achievements there, which don't really get highlighted enough, but how do you kind of evaluate your career where you've got to, right now?
I'm proud, um, at all times. I never quit. That is, very important to me. Um, so looking back on what I've done so far, I'm very proud. And I'm also very proud that the things that I've done have enabled me to be in a position now to where I've got these massive, massive fights over the next 12, 24 months that can be made that aren't even for world titles. Um, that's a very rare position to be in. Most guys, their big paydays, their big fights are when there's a belt on the line. There's multiple fights out there for me which are bigger than fighting for a world title. you know, that's through the things that I've done over my career, over my career. So, yeah, you know, things haven't always gone to plan, but nothing's ever perfect. Um, you know, can I look myself in the mirror? That's that's the question, and absolutely I can.
100%. I'd agree with that. I think it's fair to say you've kind of built your own legacy and your own name. Just the last couple of questions for you. Can I get like a bit of a breakdown prediction of the following two fights from you? AJ Dubois, which is happening in a few weeks, and then obviously the main event on your show, Better Be a BIVOL.
I would imagine AJ to come through against Dubois. I think he's just going to be too strong and too skillful. Um, so I would say AJ is going to come away with a victory on that one. Um, but again, in the heavyweight division, all it takes is one punch. Um, but I think AJ's mental fortitude is stronger than Dubois also, so he has that going for him. Beterbiev and Bivol. That's a good fight. It's a really good fight. I'd probably go for say Bivol. He's younger, right? Beterbiev is like what is he like? Nearly 40?
I think he's 39, 40, something like that.
Bivol should win just off of that, really. I mean, how old is Bivol?
But they say Beterbiev's body is actually of a younger man's because he lives clean.
I saw something about this guy not failing a drugs test, but there was some type of
Heightened testosterone.
some yeah, something came up in the system, like a small amount, goes up and does the job.
Okay. This is the last question. The Bomac chapter, is that closed? Are you still looking to go with Bomac, or are you going to go back to your original training team?
For this next camp, I don't think Bomac's going to be involved, but that's not to say that I'm, you know, never going to train with him again. But just, you know, things haven't aligned for this particular fight.
Good stuff. Chris, I really appreciate your time. Hopefully I can do this in person next time, and thank you for your time.
Good man. Appreciate it.